Coming up this week, we got lots of stuff going on. We got the Fed meeting this week. Will they cut rates? That's going to be the big question. Will they, won't they? And right now, it looks like that the Fed will probably stay pat. We'll see what happens. The expectations are they'll cut rates. I would not be surprised if they just hold pat this meeting. So again, that's going to have some influence on the market later this week, but it really won't be the rate cut itself. It's really going to be more of what Jerome Powell says following the announcement of whatever we get. So that press conference about future outlooks for rate cuts is going to be the most important thing probably this week. But also we have earnings this week from 4 of the Mag 7 this week, and then we're going to get some more next week, and then NVIDIA doesn't report until the end of February, so we got to stretch to get there. But over this week and next week is just a whole deluge of earnings that are coming in. But we're going to start getting some of the mega cap earnings this week, maybe some opportunity there as well. For instance, Apple announces this week. Apple's had a very big sell-off here recently, so the risk with that is with Apple oversold here, any announcements on earnings that are better than expected is likely going to give this stock a bit of a boost. From a trading perspective, this kind of oversold condition is actually a decent setup to buy Apple for a trade. Options imply about a 4 to 7% increase from current levels if their announcements are good. With this decline in price, this oversold condition going into earnings, it won't take as much of an earnings beat to get the stock a little bit of momentum. Amazon has really kind of been working just a big sideways consolidation. It's not as oversold as Apple is, but again, sitting above moving averages right now has worked off some of the overbought condition. Microsoft is a really good example of the same thing. It's actually been having a nice little rally going in kind of expectations for earnings. I think traders are starting to kind of buy into this story, but really oversold here, triggering a momentum buy signal and not overbought yet. A better than expected earnings announcement could push the stock up through that pretty quick. We've seen that type of action before where it gets oversold like this, and then you have a very good strong rally out of this. Lastly is just Meta. Same exact story as Microsoft here. Very oversold. Has already been trying to rally here over the last few days, but again, just triggering a momentum buy signal. A little bit overbought here, but good earnings announcements could push the stock up towards 725-ish, somewhere around there. Just going into earnings, these recent pullbacks in the mega cap stocks have just kind of generated a tradable bottom. Outside of that, though, economic data is continuing to come in better than expected. However, economic surprises are now extremely elevated. We've got a lot of expectations coming up for very strong economic growth this year, very strong earnings growth this year. That's going to make it more difficult for these surprises to come in and beat, and then you're going to start getting a reversal in this where we start missing economic data and those estimates are going to start coming down again. And then, of course, Polymarket has about an 80% chance that the government will be in a shutdown by the end of this week. Catch me daily on The Real Investment Show. The link is in the description.